My children's favorite bedtime story is one I make up about a magical cave where they get to go and activate their secret superpowers. They spend hours choosing their superpowers, controlling water, speaking to animals, saving the world. Let's just say the bedtime has gotten really, really long. But children's bedtime stories are not just cute. They often reveal truth that we don't always admit. You see, my kids, they don't want me telling them stories of ordinary people who have to face a really broken world. They prefer superheroes who come in and with magic make everything better. If we're honest, we often wish for the same thing. We imagine there are leaders out there who are in charge with special talents, with big titles, with even bigger offices. And if anything goes wrong, they will step in and make things better. But on October 7th, when Hamas attacked our brothers and sisters in Israel, and every single day since, living with so much pain and brokenness, of ongoing war, of our hostages still missing, of anti-Semitism surging all around us, we have looked around and we have asked, where are those leaders? Where are those people who were supposed to make everything better? We have learned a sobering truth. Too often, the leaders we hope for don't show up. And when the fairy tale fades, just one question remains. Will we, as ordinary people, will we step up? As I look around this room, I see a sisterhood of lionesses. You are here because you have stepped up on campus, city councils, through philanthropy. And today, nearly 1.5 years since October 7th, we celebrate your leadership. But we are also here because we have to make sure that we go through a shift, through a transformation. You see, if our leadership is primarily driven to respond to crisis, well, that is not sustainable. All of the activism that we do, organizing, showing up at protests, speaking up, donating, it is also critically important, and it must become part of a deeper calling, the kind of calling that gives us strength to keep going for the long road ahead. Our activism as Jewish women must become a sacred and lifelong calling. Today, we embrace the power of shlichut. This Shabbat, we will begin reading the book of Exodus and meet Moses before he became a hero. Here's Moses, born a Hebrew slave, raised as an Egyptian prince, now a shepherd in Midian. Let's be honest, his beginnings weren't exactly heroic. Yes, he intervened to protect a Hebrew slave, but then he ran away. My dad, when I was a little girl, called this Moses' Hakuna Matata, running away from responsibility phase. God has to intervene. And so at the burning bush, God calls out to Moses, and tells him, go back to Egypt, become a leader, help free your people. But Moses has the chutzpah to say no. You see, just like my kids, Moses thinks that you need to be an extraordinary leader, an amazing public speaker with the kind of charisma and confidence that today would get you 1 million followers on Instagram. So Moses tells God, I stutter. I can't do it. He expresses what many of us feel. I'm not good enough. Send someone else. But God does not let Moses off the hook. God teaches him a powerful message. You, Moses, stutter and all, you are exactly the person needed for this moment. You do not need to be an extraordinary person to accomplish extraordinary good. Rabbi Soloveitchik says that this moment at the burning bush is a moment of revelation in which the idea of shlichut came to the world. I want us to say this Hebrew word together. Repeat after me, shlichut. Shlichut is having a calling, is knowing that we are part of a story that is bigger than us. Shlichut is not one action. It is an identity. Moses became transformed through shlichut. He went from being someone who once intervened to save one slave to being a leader whose entire being and every moment of his life was dedicated to break down the chains of Egypt and bring about freedom. Shlichut, Moses learned, was choosing a mission and having a path and sticking to it, even when it gets hard and lonely and messy. And we don't need a burning bush moment in order to embrace the idea of shlichut. Just look at Miriam, Moses' older sister, who I would guess is the Bible's first lifelong activist. In every single moment and every circumstance, Miriam looked around and asked, how can I be of service? She defied Pharaoh's genocidal decree, becoming one of history's first conscientious objectors. She helped her parents fight against despair and inspired them to have more Jewish babies. She watched over her brother Moses and made sure he survived through adulthood. She formed a sisterhood of Jewish slave women and taught them how to craft tambourines, teaching them the power, the radical power of Jewish hope. Then in the wilderness, Miriam became a national leader, a prophetess, a caregiver for her people. Miriam and Moses teach us the power of shlichut. They teach us that to have shlichut is to be a messenger for a mission. That each and every one of us, that we have to know that God needs us, that our people need us. It's the knowledge that we are each here, in this place, at this time, with our talents, with our unique circumstances, even with our imperfections, because we are meant to answer a higher calling. That is shlichut. Today, we honor the leadership, the spirit of shlichut in 4 amazing activists. We will hear the stories of Maya, of Samantha, of Heidi, and of Noah. we will hear what they have done in the spirit of shlichut and how they serve our people. As we hear their stories, let us remember the ability to discover our calling, to pursue it, and to fulfill it lies within each and every one of us. Lions of Judah, look around you. This is a community of shlichut. Step into your power and be the heroines our people need.